Alright folks, this is a 96 Ranger. It is a 3.0 liter V6 and it, as you can see, has the front end sort of disassembled. I would assume that this is probably going to be the same on all 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive applications, probably even going newer than 96. I know that 93 through 96 are all the same. I'm going to show you how to swap out a broken headlight plug, and you'll be able to do this on a lot of other types of plugs that you have. You see this headlight plug here, it's still functional. It still has all of its little bits that you can plug in, but it does not have a locking tab. I salvaged this one right here off of an F-150. Exact same plug, exact same everything. The color coding on the wire is a little bit different, and the easy way of doing this without having to do it the way that I'm doing it is to just cut the plug off and then cut these wires and everything. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how to disassemble this plug so that you can just swap out the individual wires over into this new plug, or well, new to me plug, and make it work. Now you can see that it's not clean. I'm probably going to clean it up just a little bit before I install it. Got these out of a junkyard along with a lot of other hardware, and for a little bit of nothing. So you might have to do a little bit of searching around to find a good junkyard, but once you find that, you're in good shape. All right, now you can see this is the plug. All right, this is the new plug. Cleaned it up a little bit. All right, now there's a red piece that's right in here. We'll jump right into this. There's a little indentation inside this little crevice here. Now, I'm using a little sort of modified I don't know, cheapo pick thing that I had made a flat tip on. All right, you get right in here, in between those little cracks. You can get a hold of that little tab and you pull it right out. All right, so that comes out. Now you're going to need a tool. I used a piece of 14-2 wire that I had flattened out the end of it, and used a Dremel tool to kind of make a little beveled edge, sort of almost like a chiseled edge out on the end of it, and narrowed it down. As you look inside here, you have each terminal has a a square that's got one big piece missing right here. All right, if you look way back in there, there's a little tab that you've got to pull up, and whenever you pull up on that tab, you can pull these terminals out. Now, before you do that, real quick, I don't want to jump the gun here. You have to remove the seal out of the back. Now, this seal here is very, very squishy, but and the good thing about this seal here is that you'll pull it out. Get it pulled out here. And whenever you pull it out, it'll stay on the wires. Okay, and that's going to be a good thing whenever you do it on your truck, because that's going to keep everything in sequence. Now, I also took pictures before I did this, but I just wanted to make sure that I got it right, because there is one wire that's a little bit off color code between the Ranger or at least the older Ranger and the newer F-150. But the plug is still the same. So I'm going to get in here with this little spade here that I just did. I'm going to pick up on this and pull out the back. Get a little bit better. There we go. Now I felt it give, and you might see it's a little bit farther back. I don't know how well you can see. A little bit farther back, and do the same thing here. So I'm sliding this in the top of that crevice, picking up on that pin and pulling out. All right. Now you may have to push the wire in just a little bit, get up underneath there, pick up on that, pull it out, and now you can pull all three of them just like that. And this right here is the piece that is the most important thing. And that's how you disassemble it. You reassemble it in a similar fashion. All right, just to give you a little bit of a something to look at here. You can look down. I'm sort of moving that around. You can look down each one of those plugs. See that black thing hanging down from the top? Really, really hard to see, I'm sure, but that is. And we're looking at the back side of the plug, and you would access it on the other end, the other side of the plug. And turn this thing around. There you go. You'd access it from this end. But that is the tab you got to pull up. You can see that it hangs down just a little bit, so that the terminal can click in whenever you push it in. So that is what you got to get a hold of with your little pick, and pick up on it so that come out. This then is the little red tab that you have to pull out. You can see how it connects in. All right, it just goes in there and sort of tightens up. Kind of clicks into place, but it's not something you have to pull up on any tabs or anything to get it to click out, or rather, you just that little dimple right there, get a hold of it. All right, I just got finished undoing all these clips. Slide this out just like that. Now remember the orientation. I don't know if there's even a way that you can get this mixed up, but nevertheless, there's the unbroken plug intact. Now, is there a trick to this? Absolutely there is. You must align them all up and then snap them in all at once. There they are. Now, you can see my old nasty hand there. So they're all in place. Tug on the wires. Sorry. Tug on the wires, make sure they're seated good, and they're in there good. So now we take this little grommet, shaky camera work, and put it back down into that hole. All that's left is to reinstall our little clip here, just like that. Slide it in, and it pops into place. And now we've got a brand new plug. Well, kind of brand new. And just like that, we have a functional light. Awesome. Hope you have a blessed day in the Lord.